Good afternoon, fellow students. Today's topic is human library. And what is the purpose of organizing it? Let me introduce the origin of the human library first. According to the Wikipedia 2024, human library has firstly organized since 2000 in Denmark by a youth group called Stop the Violence. The goals of the event is to persuade people to stop violence through sharing and building up relationship to communicate. In nowadays, human libraries has been operated to 70 countries in the past 4 years. The spread of the human library brings communication and equality through sharing, which create an effective way for ethnic minority and other special group of people to express their view freely. The development of human library has a great contribution of reducing bias and raising public awareness on disadvantaged group in society. Then, how human library is organized? From the article Web Junction 2022, the event planners need to show the theme for the event. For example, LGBT, sexual inequality, ethnic minorities, and social disadvantaged group. A promotion is required to invite volunteers from government or non-government organization. For example, through local media, posters, and letters. After that, the event helpers need to create a book description and an icebreaker question for the book. Finally, they need to connect supporting material and set up a brochures signed venue for them to have a conversation with a human book. Also, if a social experiment is part of the event, there will be a questionnaire to collect data for analysis. Then, what is the purpose of having such an event? Human library is a good place for social studies and experiment. According to a research conducted by the Department of Special Education and Counseling in Education University of Hong Kong, it shows that the human library has a great improvement on mental health literacy, which can prevent and recognize mental disorder more effectively. Another research conducted by the Faculty of Psychology in University of Warsaw shows that human library participants has higher chance to break stereotype and has a more objective understanding to society. I can see that both of them give us the fact that there are lots of social minority take place in human libraries. They provide the most valuable information and opinions to social research studied. Human library is also a great perspective to observe public, where the public has their real reactions to people from different cultural backgrounds and even have different ideologies. These are invaluable first-hand material, greatly improve the effectiveness of social research. Let me give you an example of human libraries. According to the official Human Libraries article in London, a transgender organized a virtual human library event called the World Library during the COVID-19 pandemic, where the event is open to everyone. They also invite different families to understand the LGBT group from a new aspect. This event aimed to build up a correct personal value to their sexuality and even sexual orientations. The charity of Human Library created a good atmosphere for communication and sharing to reduce bias, especially in this information technological era. While there are limitations in human library event, from the blog of 2020, the environment of the library is crowded than usual due to the huge amount of communication between the book and the readers, which affects the experience of the participants. The other problem is time limit. To ensure the fairness, the time limit must be within 30 minutes, but it is not enough for the readers and the book to communicate. The other huge obstacle is language barrier. The readers and the book may need the translators to communicate, and it's inconvenient for further communication. Language barrier may affect the communication process and cannot reduce the bias effectively. My recommendation is, for the crowd environment, The Human Library can also set up individuals' room for readers. In addition, the organizer can set up a website for online human libraries, which help the librarian to control the time limit in more practical way. The introduction of online human libraries can also pair readers and the book with same or similar language background to overcome the barrier. In the futures, online human library will become more and more common due to the advance of communication technology, which means we will have more chance to get in touch with foreign peoples and cultures. It will be better to understand and respect their culture if we communicate with them through human library, because barriers and projections always create new disputes between different nations. I can see that this is a good approach to a harmonious society in the future. That's why I want to have this research. In conclusion, human library can be organized by anyone, including social minority. It is a good place to express their opinion freely. It's also a favorable field for social future studies and research, which can obtain a more accurate result, but there are still limits for the charity to improve to achieve the ultimate goals of free communication and a fair society. Thank you for listening.